Hello, dedicated actors. I'm Richard Klein. How to choose an outstanding audition monologue. So we got an audition slot for an upcoming player project. Yes, congratulations. Let's talk about a few things to consider when choosing an audition monologue that will help set us apart from the pack and make us one that will definitely get a callback for the play. Let's start with some good stuff here. Follow your intuition. If you have a little inkling or a small thought in the back of your mind that says, do this piece for your audition, do it. It's very important for us as artists, as actors, to develop a trust for that little voice in the back of our mind. It will serve you 100% of the time, I promise. So by exercising listening to that little voice on practical matters like choosing an audition monologue, we will develop a trust for that little voice, and it will allow us to make outstanding impulses when we're on stage or on a film set that will just surprise us and give us a little oomph in our performance that will really move the audience and make us one that other people will want to work with again and again and again. Number 1 out of 5 things to consider when choosing an outstanding audition monologue. Let it be from a play. Now, by choosing a monologue and a character that's in a fully realized play or a one-act, you will have a clear sense of the character's journey from the beginning to the end of the play. You'll know what happens right before the moment that they speak the speech that you chose, and you'll know what happens afterwards. In short, it will make all of your character analysis work much easier. Now, there are a lot of books out there on titled things like 100 Great Audition Monologues for men, women, young actors, or whoever. And they're really great. There's a lot of wonderful material in them. But when you choose something from there, they're often a standalone monologue. And so you then have the responsibility as the actor to develop the full life of the character. So by choosing a monologue from a play, you don't have to invent all of that. It makes your work a lot easier and lets you dive into the moment and get ready for your audition. Number 2, make sure there is a clear, achievable action in the monologue. Take Warren in This Is Our Youth by Kenneth Lonergan. Warren is speaking to Jessica, this young woman that he just took out the night before, and they had this wonderful, crazy date night, and it's the next day, and she's saying that she doesn't want to see him anymore. So in Warren's speech in this scene in the play, he can plead his love to her, but I suggest breaking it down even more fundamentally. Let it be as physical as possible. So rather than pleading my love for her or get her to fall in love with me, I would make the speech, the action in this speech, something like, make sure she stays in the room. If she leaves the room, all the light from my world is gone. So then everything that I say is very clearly wanting her to stay in the room. By keeping my action or objective as simple and as physical as possible in this way, lets my energy be focused outwards to the person that I'm speaking to, and will allow the audience, the casting director and director, to be drawn into me and want to know more about me. And secretly, all of the emotion needed for this scene will come automatically when I'm focused on achieving an action like that. So often we want to choose a monologue that has a big emotional release, or maybe the character is recalling a totally hardcore memory or something, and we as actors really want to speak truthfully to all of the imagery and to really relive the moment and to cry on the spot when we need to, and all of these things. And that one puts a lot of pressure on us for the context of the audition, and we can leave feeling instantly hard on ourselves. Oh, I didn't cry when I was supposed to, or oh, I cried too much and didn't get the speech out right, and just too much stress. By focusing on something emotional, all of our energy is drawn inward, and it really kind of isolates us from the audience and makes it harder for the audience to relate to us and thereby want to root for us. So spare yourself the turmoil, the stress, the heartache. Play in action. Number 3, choose a monologue that carries the essence of the role that I'm auditioning for. So by choosing a piece that has the similar flavor, the similar essence of the role I want to play, instantly puts the thought in the director or casting director's head, oh, they would be great for this part. Or, oh, let me consider them for this part, the part that you really want to play. As an example, if I wanted to audition for Willie Loman in Death of a Salesman, I would choose a character like Artie in The House of Blue Leaves by John Guare. Both characters are of a similar age, yes, but really it's that they see the world in similar ways and are perceived by the world in similar ways, and they approach challenges in ways that are reflective of one another. If this is a general audition, so that you're not auditioning for a certain role, but rather to be a part of a company or for a school, then I would choose a piece that reflects your own inner manifesto or artist statement. You know, what are the kind of roles that you want to play? Play your favorite role that you've always wanted to play. Something that inspires you, something that will tell the panel that you're auditioning for, hey, this is the kind of work that I like to do. Let's do this kind of stuff together. Number 4, cut together lines from a character in a scene. Many contemporary plays are written almost entirely with short, loaded dialogue, and it's sometimes hard to even find a speech long enough to be considered a monologue, and certainly not long enough to fill an entire audition slot. Not to worry, you can easily cut together lines that a character says and sort of tweak them ever so slightly so that it's a cohesive, flowing speech. As an example, let's take a look at Margie in Loose Knit by Theresa Rebeck. So here we have a page of the scene with Margie. You can pause it here if you'd like to read the full page. I would take this and make these lines, cut them together just like this, and then now here is a monologue out of the scene you saw before. So as you can see, it seems very plausible that someone would say that Margie would speak this just like this, and there's a very clear playable action. So with a little finesse, it is possible to find a great substantial audition monologue within a scene. I will put in the description a list of playwrights that I can always count on for longer speeches. Number 5, choose a piece that is 15 seconds shorter than your allotted time. We often have 1 minute to do an audition monologue, sometimes 2 minutes or 90 seconds. Whatever the time limit is, I would make sure that your piece ends a good 15 seconds before that time cap. This will allow you to walk into the space with confidence, knowing that you will get through the full piece and that you will be able to take the time to fully live in all of the nuances that the character goes through in the piece. And that completes the list. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Please leave a comment below. I'd love to hear how your audition went, if you have any further questions or need clarifications. Also share any other advice on stuff that you found useful when you choose a monologue for your auditions. Please share this video with any actors in your community that you feel may benefit from this information. And lastly, click subscribe and the notification bell to receive the latest insight for the training actor. Break a leg.